Good evening, everyone, and welcome to On the Rise. I'm your host, Mike Feinberg. Not with me tonight, here in studio at least, is my partner, David Shore, but he is here via Zoom. We're going to bring him in here in just a couple of minutes. To kind of get started here for you, look, the hangover is now over, right? It's been 10 days since our last event where we had 11 victorious fighters. We crowned a new champion as well, where we had Jose Gallegos become our new RIZE lightweight champ. And look, the next event is already fast approaching. October 23rd is just around the corner. Tickets will go on sale for this event probably on October 1st, so stay tuned for that. You know, the only way you can buy the tickets, as always, is by simply going right to our app. And that app is RIZE FC, R-I-Z-E-F-C, as in Fighting Championship. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. You need to get on that. Just get it done. Do that, right? Obviously, if you can't come out in person because you're too far away, you can always watch it right there through the app, through our RIZE X link. It's right there for you to click on. Very, very simple. But we'd love to have you in attendance. We've had some great sellout events the last couple times out. We're back again at Xtreme Action Park in Fort Lauderdale on October 23rd. We've got another bunch of fights for you, anywhere between 12 to 16 fights on tap. I know David and Armando are working around the clock basically to make sure that everything stays status quo and we can bring you that stack of fights. We're going to have a lot of the former champions and former winners come back and fight for us once again. We are looking at the headliner of that fight as well, being our featherweight championship between Corey Jacobs and Gus Mena. Gus Mena being crowned that champion just a couple of months back now. So we're hoping that everything comes together and everything falls into place and that we have another great event. That having been said, our show tonight, we have a couple of guests that are backstage. Both of them were winners at our last event here 10 days ago. One of them is strawweight, 115-pound Jonna Wood. The other, 155-pound lightweight, Jack Willoughby. Jack has now entered into the semifinals of the tournament, having won that quarterfinal match. Both these fighters will be back on our cards, very, very soon. You're going to see them. You're going to see a lot of them. And we hope you enjoyed their fights, and you'll hear a little bit about them tonight, and you'll enjoy what they have to say. So without further ado, beyond that, what I'm going to do is bring my partner, David Shore, here onto the screen with us so we can bring him in and he can join up. David, can you hear me? What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good, what's happening?
Doing all right, man. Yeah, great to have you at least via Zoom, if not here next to me. We're trying to throw people off, we were talking about, People are tuning in and they're like, wait, this isn't On the Rise. There's usually two guys, and that guy wears a mask all the time, and I don't know what's going on. So we turned the world upside down tonight.
You gotta keep them on their toes, right?
Gotta keep them on their toes, David. All right, so I think you overheard me and what I was saying, that, 10 days removed now from the event. We've obviously had a show last week where we discussed the result of that event. Those 11 victors from the event itself. Put a pretty bang-up show together. I know you had a lot to do with that. And tell us, what's going on now with the status of this next event? What's been going on?
We got a lot of different faces that's going to be hopefully participating, and obviously some of the old as well. But we have a lot of good people signing up. It's going to be looking like a great event. I'm excited to have Trappett Gambino is going to come back with us. We just worked on a matchup with a gentleman named LeVar. I think that's almost official. So obviously when Trap shows up, the Trap show, it's always exciting. So I'm excited for that. We got Jack coming back, Jack the Ripper. He put on went against a UFC fighter, a UFC gym opponent, Tim Riley, beat him in 28 seconds. So it doesn't matter where you're from; it's about who you are and what you got to show for yourself. So a lot of exciting fights going to happen for sure.
Yeah, we just I made a comment about the fact that we got that 155-pound tourney that's going on, right? We've already had 3 winners move on to the semifinals, but this fight card coming up here on October 23rd, we have that 4th spot up for grabs. So they can move on, that person can move on as well.
Right.
And tell us about the 2 fighters that are matching up for that one.
Well, LJ was originally supposed to be in the tournament, so he's going to compete versus Kevin Wilkerson, which was his. They were both scheduled to fight each other last card, but we pushed it to this card. So it's going to be a really good fight. Obviously, both guys have over 3 fights experience. LJ's a tank. This guy Kevin, he's coming to prove. He has, I think, over 4 or 5 fights. It's going to be an awesome matchup. It's going to be good for the lightweight division of that we have to see who wins this tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking forward to that. I know you have the other couple of tournaments that are going on as well, and they should be starting this fight card as well, right? Tell us a little bit about the weight classes and how many fighters you have in each tournament for each of those weights.
Honestly, Mike, it's pretty sporadic. So we're working off of a sheet of paper that's constantly changing. So we'll see. I don't want to make any promises. You're promising me, you already said 12 to 14 fights. You're giving me anxiety. I hope everything works out. So I'm trying to make it happen, truthfully. So, we can save that as a surprise.
Right. Well, we'll do our best to try to get those dozen fights in there. Like we said, a few more weeks out, things start falling through, at least you got, a pretty nice full show.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, we're honestly, the last event did more than double the other promotions, so we're trying to just bring the best out and see what they can do, so that's our mantra. And I'm hoping that if not, obviously we're going for October, we're going for November, and then we're having a super exciting card in December too. So my goal is just to keep the ball rolling,
Right. So I know a couple of months ago, we crowned Gus Mena, the featherweight champ, and after a great win, and we're trying to get Gus and Corey Jacobs to match up as the headliners on this particular card here on October 23rd. And that just sounds like a great matchup. I mean, it's the best competitor either one has ever faced. Sure. So hopefully that one comes together, and we have a great stack card, with that as a headliner. And just had some notes here. We also have the return of Trap Gambino coming on October 23rd card.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Trap's a little superstar himself. He's very outspoken, has a bunch of followers, a bunch of haters. It's always, I think it's kind of fitting for Halloween. He's kind of a character, so can't wait for that. Right.
So again, everybody, October 1st, I think, is when we're planning on, getting ticket sales for that. We're trying to work some things out in the background. It's only a few days away, so forgive us if it goes a few days beyond that. But, I would definitely start looking around October 1st for those ticket sales, and just give it a few days if you can't find them up on that day. But again, October 23rd is our slated date for the fight. That is a Saturday night. It is scheduled right now to be Xtreme Action Park in Fort Lauderdale. And again, if anything changes with the dates, the venues, ticket sales, whatever, we'll definitely be sure to let you know. Of course, you can check our social media. You want to like and subscribe and comment on all of our social media just to kind of stay in the know. Check out our website and check out our app, and you'll find up-to-date information along with the fighters, maybe matchups, things that are going on. And again, if you want to be a fighter on one of the future RIZE cards, you can apply right there on the RIZE FC app. If you want to be a cage girl in the future, we've had a couple of new girls come out the last time out. You can also do that. Apply right there on RIZE FC app. So, David, looks like we got a couple of fighters here in the background, a couple of winners that took that victory 10 days ago. I guess we'll start with them one by one, right? And I think you have Jonna Wood back there backstage, right? And I'm getting the nod that that's the case. So what we're going to do is break for commercial real quick while we set that up. And then on the other flip side of that, we'll have Jonna come out here and talk a little about her victory. So we'll be back with you in just a minute. Take a look at our app real quick. We'll see you in a minute.
Jason, the audio. Oh! Are excited and ready for the second bout of RIZE.
Okay. All right. And we are back. Hopefully got a quick chance to look at that app. And again, just download RIZE FC and you will not be disappointed. So with that having been said, again, have David Shore here on Zoom with me. And David, we're going to be bringing Jonna Wood in here right now so we can have a conversation with her. I'm not sure that you'll be able to see her, but hopefully you'll be able to hear her. So we're going to bring Jonna in here right now.
They're not on yet.
Oh, she's not ready just yet. So David, so let's go into the card a little bit more.
Yeah.
What else do you have going on? Who else has applied to be a fighter? that you now have that's going to be new to us on October 23rd that we should be watching out for?
Well, we've been working on Lester Santana's matchup. We actually have a few candidates, but the big thing about people being matched up is this: we want to make sure that they're 100%, and we don't want to leave anyone hanging, obviously. So it's kind of a tedious process to make sure that we speak to their coaches and make sure that their safety's fine and everything's going to work out for these new fighters that we are added to us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. We have Lulu Watt from Goat Judge who's going to be on the next show. We have quite a few. Honestly, don't have my sheet in front of me that has all the matchups, but problem is when we announce the matchups, everybody and their mother's going to hit them up too, because everybody wants these fighters, and it's it's a small world. So it's like playing poker and showing all my cards, Mike. You can't really do that or I'll get in trouble.
I got you. I understand completely. So yeah, it's fine. I know that I know you got a lot. I've seen a lot of that. The audition tape, I guess you want to call it.
Right.
With some of these guys, I know they got some bangers out there that really want to make their presence known. So we're happy to have them here, joining us under the RIZE umbrella and coming out there and making their debuts on October 23rd. And of course, having a lot of these winners come back and fight for us again as well. People that have time tested over and over again and put on performances here for RIZE, coming back and be on this next card. So it just seems like each and every time, each card out, we have a lot of these winners coming back, and the cards just get stronger and stronger each time we have one.
Yeah, for sure. But honestly, it's a kind of a close one. So I would say that it's going to be good to have my goal is to have alternate people every time, at least let them heal up, because you get punched in anywhere, even in the arm, it's good to take at least over a month off if you need to, so that's the thing you got to remember about rest and fighters. And when they're, a lot of the process is cutting, cut too much weight, but you want to make sure that you're physically ready to go, and wrestling classes, jiu-jitsu classes, boxing classes, it's a lot to do month to month, so it's a good idea to space it out a little bit too as well.
Right. No, absolutely. And, I just want to take a moment here while we're having this conversation, while we're waiting for everyone backstage, that we do want to thank our sponsor, Pharmacana, again, for all your CB needs, all the CB products that you can possibly imagine right here. You see some on the table next to me. I think they got that in the camera angle. Pharmacana. I know David used some of their products, and you believe in them.
But my girlfriend doesn't hate it. Truthfully, it's kind of like I'm not very romantic, so I buy a candle from Walmart. I use some Tropicana, so that stuff that actually makes it all tingly and good for your muscles. And she's a runner, so she appreciates it. And I usually get at least a cooked meal out of it, so I can't complain.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff. So again, we thank Pharmacana, we thank DV8, two of the sponsors that have, made all this possible. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to working with you continuously in the future. That having been said, now we do not have Jonna Wood back there right now, but we do have our other guest, and Jack Willoughby is now on with us, and I think we've got the audio and video going.
Can you hear me?
So David, yep, I can hear you. Jack, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Everybody can hear each other. David, I don't know if you can see Jack.
Man, nice shirt, bro.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you like that?
So again, this is Jack Willoughby, victorious, an early round finish in the first round at our last event 10 days ago, 155 lightweight. Jack, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. I know we got David on here for a reason. I know David wants to ask you about some technical aspects of how everything kind of went. It wasn't a lot to talk about because it's a very short fight.
Yeah, Jack, I couldn't even finish my soda, I was trying to at least enjoy a little bit of soda. I couldn't even finish it without, talking about your fight.
Did a little bit of it out, too, probably. Shit.
Yeah, I was confused. I know we're talking you through the ring. What exactly happened on the other side of the fence? So, just play by play, can you just break down your fight since it was only 30 seconds or whatever it was?
Yeah, it was 28 seconds. So we went out the gate and I tried to give the respectful, fist bump. And from there, he swung and we kind of countered. And then that exchange happened. I cleared some space as he was swinging for me and had that head kick, I thought. And I gave him a little clip to the top that he nicked. And he he looked at me and was like, that wasn't shit because it barely connected. And so I threw that one to his gut. And that's when I heard somebody like, oh, now they're talking.
Right.
And that's when I started talking back to him. I was like, you felt that shit, didn't you? Then we just kind of exchanged, and he wanted to take it to the ground. So he did. And he was really dropping some, heavy bombs on me, heavy. So I tried to stay composed there and do what we trained for, and brought him to me and just go from there. And I found my openings and we took it. What up,
Sorry.
champ?
Damn. Yeah. No. Honestly, how much is that? How you envisioned your first fight?
I did not picture my first fight going that way at all.
Stop. Oh no, I'm the worst. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
What's up, Jonah?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yep. We now have Jonna Wood joining us. Jonna, how are you?
I'm muting my.
We brought you a little
Well,
quickly.
that's what's up, Jack. Yeah. I mean, it
That's
was
all right.
pretty epic.
Yeah.
I'm outside my gym. And he's like,
What's your plan? So are you gonna beat your last one? 30 seconds. You're going for like 20, 22.
Dude, that is
17
never my goal. I'm never trying to make it a quick fight. I'm never trying to go in there and just swing on anybody. Like, my goal is to go in there, play my game, be composed, fill them out, just like you would a sparring session, and once you find their mistakes, you expose them. But it just happened that way. We went to the ground, it went fast, and he was trying to take my head off, so I had to do something.
Outers, right? Did you get another for a minute?
I'm losing you for a sec.
So you had some.
Yeah, not quite catch what David's saying. Not hearing either.
You there?
Yeah, we can hear you in and out.
Sorry, I still got dial up apparently, but yeah, no. Like I was saying, you had some doubters too that told you not to be.
Damn it, I keep losing.
How do you feel about overcoming that?
I feel great.
What happened behind that?
I'm losing you, man. Like, I get parts of that question.
My bad, dude. Sorry.
You're good.
I think what he was saying was that you had some doubters out there. I guess your capabilities. I think that's what he was saying. Trying to fill in the blanks, and how do you feel about having overcome those people, those haters?
I'm thankful for those people. Honestly, I would have never pushed as hard as I did if I didn't have people telling me, like, you can't do this. I might not have even pushed as hard to pursue it, but people at the gym, like, oh, he ain't ready, he ain't this, just behind the scenes talking, that really made me want it that much more. So I'm thankful for them. I really don't have time to have hate in my heart for anybody out there. So peace to them, peace to the haters. Y'all can keep hating if you want to hate me, but I'm just trying to be the nicest guy I can and do what I got to do when the time comes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to hang on with us, Jack, because I know Jonna's here on with us now, too, and I want to bring her in here, talk to her a little bit, and then we'll kind of have a conversation, all of us. So, Jonna, we got our straw weight winner from last Saturday night, or, 10 nights ago, I should say,
right.
Jonna Wood. Jonna, had a
Hi.
great. How you doing, Jonna?
Go ahead.
I'm good. I'm so sorry for earlier.
That's okay.
You're
That's
good.
Okay. Now it's a
The
party.
champ does what she wants.
Okay. I need to get some headphones too. I'm outside. I'm not prepared for this at all. I did not get myself together because the kids are still in class right now. So I was like, okay, cool. At 6, I could go in there. No, they're rolling. So I was like, okay. But hi, my bad.
Oh, it's great to have you on.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Hey, look, great performance last Saturday night. Congratulations on the win. You had a tough test in front of you, and you put on a great performance. We're all pretty impressed with what you were capable of doing.
Thanks. Yeah, no, she was a tough girl. It was fun.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that. If you can summarize the fight for us, kind of, how you felt, the adjustments you had to make throughout the course of the fight.
So I felt pretty good throughout the fight. I knew that, the first round, that was my plan. My plan was first round finish, go in there, first round finish. And then, but I told myself, I said, hey, if you don't finish in the first round, you can't let that affect you at all. You got to make it through all of them. So I was like, all right, cool. I missed the bars and that kind of stuck in my head for a second. I was like, Like, I armbarred her twice. I was pretty confident, again in my jujitsu, because I'm a brown belt and I believe she's like a white belt or blue belt. And so I was comfortable with that. I really just wanted to, like, my all around goal was to get all 3 rounds and like be dominant in all of them if I couldn't get the finish.
Right. Understood. Any trouble that she gave you? Anything that kind of surprised you?
Really, seriously, honestly, her toughness after that. Like, I understood that my phone was dying. I understood that she was gonna be like really, really tough to beat because like it's her hometown. She had the whole gym there. Like, everybody in the crowd was supporting her. So I was like, I knew I was gonna have to like dominate throughout the entire fight in order to like come home with a win. So really, that was my only thing, was just like her resiliency to lose. You know, she didn't want to die that day. So it was awesome.
Yeah. Again, you know, you did a great job, and, you know, we appreciated the entertainment, you know, especially the victory that you had there.
No,
You know,
yeah.
looking forward to seeing you come back again soon.
Oh yeah.
I look forward to it too. It was a wonderful like event. Everything was super organized. The people were great. Like, everyone I talked to was so professional.
They really were.
It was awesome.
They really were. Like all of y'all's back team, security, everybody was just like outstanding.
We pay you guys to say that, so it's cool.
Shit, you're getting paid?
No, I can tell you, I've been to a fight in West Virginia. Okay, unless you've been to West Virginia, no.
That's fun. And so, how long have you been training with your coach, Jonah?
I'm sorry.
How long have you been training with your coach?
I've been with my coach for going on like 6 years, and I've been doing MMA with him for like the past three and a half. Yeah. So I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 6 years though.
Yeah, you guys look pretty serious every time I see you training. So I mean, it looks like some intense, like.
Yeah, no, he's an ex-Army vet, so he kind of holds us to like a really like rigorous standard of like training hard all the time, like no excuses. So yeah, it's a good training environment. Like, if you want to work hard and actually like do something with it.
For sure. And like I said, it showed in that fight. You know, that their American Combat Gym is one of the best around here with all these and you know, you kind of ruined his day too. He's trying to commentate, and you're over here doing what you got to do. So I was really, really impressed for sure.
Oh yeah, no. We have a really tight team. Like, we train together every day, like every day. So we already had a game plan on how we were going to be mentally, how we were going to like just show up, what we were going to dress in, like everything is put together. And again, that's all like with the direction of my coach. Like, he's very good at like organizing a team, getting us, you know, step by step, making sure we do what we got to do. So I just followed the plan.
Well, you know,
who
Jack,
does the creative side of all your like little skits and stuff? Is that all you? Like, I like the mission accomplished and all that stuff. That's crazy.
Actually, that was him.
No way.
He did that one, right?
That's
cool. He's creative as well, and we all like creatively get together and do like we have a YouTube channel, AMAG Fight Team. That's all him. He started our YouTube channel. The TikToks I started during quarantine because I was like sad and fat and I needed somebody. Like, I was like, I gotta do something. And so I jumped on the TikTok train. But like, you know, we just like putting videos out because we think we're dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey,
what are you doing? What are you doing for your biceps? I even saw one of your comments on your pictures, like, nice biceps. Like, damn, what am I doing wrong? This chick's getting jacked over here.
I do a lot of chin-ups, a lot of push-ups.
Nice.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just like weightlifting and jujitsu like every day.
Yeah. I know people don't realize how much jiu-jitsu is, man. I've thrown up at sessions before. It's no joke.
I didn't hear you. I'm so sorry.
I said people don't realize how crazy jiu-jitsu training is. Like, I've thrown up in sessions before but he's got his elbow on your stomach and you're like, oh man, today's not the day. You know, so it's
right.
intense.
that pressure.
For sure.
It is.
But yeah, I enjoyed jiu-jitsu. I think I was really happy with this fight because I got to display that. Like my last couple fights that I've had, I've stood up the whole time. I don't understand like the only other time, it was my second MMA fight. We did end up on the ground, but I was a blue belt at the time, so I was just flopping around like a little fish. This time I really got to display like some control. I want to get a little bit better on controlling the hands. She did a really good job of avoiding shots because she was turning over and over. And so this was my real first experience with some ground and pound. So I was happy with my performance, and I was really impressed with her ability to keep moving around, because I was like, that's what I do. Hi guys, these are some of my girls on my team. I'm doing the interview. Say hi, say back dogs. Bye guys, see you later. But yeah.
So Jack, I want to bring you back in. I know you've been kind of sitting there patiently. So, after this victory over Tim, and obviously seeing what Tim brought to the table, I mean, are there things you're going to work on differently in the gym that you saw now that makes you want to adjust for your next fight?
If anything, yeah, I'm takedown defense. I've been working on that a lot more. I've been doing a lot of wrestling, nonstop wrestling with a guy who's 230 pounds. He's the old UFC manager at the old UFC gym in Lone Tree that I used to train at. I left there now, so we're training at another gym on our own. I'm going to move over to another BJJ gym that I've been recommended to for Easton, I believe it's called. They got a bunch of great fighters out there. But yeah, if anything, that actually gave me a little bit of a boost of confidence in my ground game, because usually it doesn't go to the ground. We end up striking, standing up, I'm staying long. And when it went to the ground, I think everybody was counting me out. They're like, uh-oh, here he goes. He's swinging hard. But I just stayed composed right there. Yeah, see, that's what it's all about right there, is that work. That work makes all the difference right there. That's why we win. But yeah, just staying ready.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then, John, I know we talked about it a little bit, but, we'll go back to you on that same note. After what you saw from Ludi and her capabilities, what do you think the adjustments will be for you in the gym leading up to your next fight?
So I definitely want to get a little bit more cardio in. I want to work on my jabs. I only threw I threw 2 kicks in there, but one of them landed really good. But the other ones I kind of just threw out there just to feel it out. But yeah, just controlling the hands a little bit more on the ground. I've got a block in the back. If you could just grab it for me, it's on the little strip. My phone's about to die. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, just controlling the hands a little bit more. I don't know why I did this. I crossed my feet on the first arm bar. I think I was trying to do more of a 1 in, 1 out guard after that. But I think just doing I missed a sweep there. But other than that, just going out there more prepared than I was the last time, just because I keep improving every fight. So I just plan on doing the same thing, just keeping my conditioning up. I already gained a little bit of weight though. Sorry, I'm getting it all now. Hey, so I already gained a little bit of weight because I had some pizza down there. It was the best pizza I have ever had. Okay, and I don't know if it was just because I was I hadn't had pizza in 6 months.
Just starving.
But victory, happy pizza is so much better than sad pizza. That's what we're talking about.
Right. That's right. It all tastes better after a victory, right?
For sure.
Absolutely. All right, John, obviously you got a couple things going on there. You said your phone's going to die, so we don't want you to cut out in the middle of a sentence. So before you leave us, I just want to see anybody that you want to thank, any shout outs that you want to give to anybody before you take off.
Yes, I do. I want to say thank you to the Lauderdale dogs right here. Hey! Oh, right there. There you go. I want to thank you to Coach James Hardiman. He's our head coach here. He's our black ball. He's not, yeah, good. And I got a Nux. That's awesome. Thank my kids. Thank the Lauderdale dogs. And that's it. Yeah. Everybody that supported me. Everybody on Twitter, MMA Twitter. They came through a lot with, I sent out a message because I was trying to get down there, getting some sponsors and stuff. So I got a lot of retweets that way on Twitter, on Instagram and stuff like that. So, and I want to thank you guys a lot. You guys, obviously put a lot of work into the RIZE, like fighting.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it shows. It was a great show. Yeah, it was a great show, and I was really happy to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, we appreciated having you. Of course,
Yeah,
you
sure.
put on a great performance. We look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Okay,
So-
thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys too. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you, Jonna.
Take care.
Good talking to you. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks.
And then Jack, so we're still with you. I know she had to get going. It seemed like we're gonna lose her, so I kind of jumped away from you for a little bit there, but we got you back now. So now the floor is yours.
No worries.
Tell us a little bit more about the experience that you had overall. Just this particular fight card and everything that kind of led up to it.
It was my very first fight, as y'all know, my debut, and leading up to it, I was super nervous on the inside. You know, I was training as hard as I could, just training like I'm about to fight the Hulk and just getting as ready as I possibly could. But then in the midst of it all, like a month before, I had all that happen with the UFC gym. So I left there and was training basically on my own for the longest time for that fight. And now I actually have people that are like, okay, we see your potential. Let's try to help you out a little bit and jump in there. But I was really training on porches when I was in Kentucky and training outside and running and everything there. And then when I came back here, I got in the gym and it was mostly bag work and just nonstop cardio and cutting weight. And I had to lose like 25 pounds. And the fight itself, man, the actual experience of showing up there and weigh-ins and stuff, it was surreal. It was like a dream. You know, all my life I've been sitting here thinking about this. You're watching the UFC thinking like, man, I want to be able to fight in the cage one day. I want to do that. And it's just, that's the biggest step you got to take, I guess, is just jumping in there. You got to find out what you're made of one way or another.
Yeah, for sure. I know that Armando was actually talking to me again off camera about it too. He was very happy with what he saw, the performance that you had. So he's looking forward to obviously having you back, and he's ready to see your next fight.
Armando was a blessing that night. He made sure to bring my mom back and everything and let her take photos with me after the win. We were back there with Riley and his wife and hugging it out with them, talking about getting dinner after the fight. That's what it's about. Once you walk out, you're my enemy. My main goal is to kill you. The only person that can stop me from killing you is that ref. And even he couldn't stop me if I snap, maybe, so you better stop me yourself. But other than that, before the fight leads up to weigh-ins and stuff, I don't care about that drama. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I need to do. I've got a job to do. But before that, I'm friendly. I want to be, cool with everybody. Show respect. I know everybody's working for this, and it takes a big amount of kahunas, to jump in that cage with another person in front of a whole crowd, lights on you, and that's what they're there to see, is y'all beat each other's faces in.
So you're gonna go 4-0 end of 2021?
He's pushing it. 3-0 for sure, because this tournament.
All right, that's good to hear.
I'm walking over somebody, but what, November's open?
What is that? Yeah, it is open.
November's open, right?
You can beat someone up in between the tournament. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we'll see how easy this next fight goes. If it's 28 seconds, I might just step up for that one.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
Well, that's what's up, Jack. Well, hey, you inspired me for following your dream and making shit happen. People just knock you and you said fuck them, and then you did your own thing. You came out to a guy that's also part of a UFC gym, and he had a lot to say. And like you said, 28 seconds, and you finished it, and now it's on to the next one. That's what it's about. Just following your dream and doing what you got to do. You traveled, you brought your family, and you showed up.
Yeah. Shout out to the Willoughby family, my parents, for making that trip. Man, they drove all the way out there. Like
they drove
16 hours or something. Yeah, they drove all the way out there to make it for me.
Sick. And you're gonna have your brother out on the next one, right?
If he wants it. Yeah, both of my brothers, I think they're gonna come out there. My older brother and my younger brother are trying to make it. So if we can make that happen, that would be something else. Hell, my dad was more nervous than I was backstage. He's like, "You need anything, buddy?" He's like, my hands are all clammy. I was like, "Dad, I'm good. Just you calm down. I'll be good, and we'll just go out there and do what we need to do."
Sick, bro.
But I'm so grateful for them showing up and showing me support and being able to look out there at my friends and family, through that cage and know, like, no matter what, they're there for you.
that's it. You know, having that support, that's obviously vital, you know, really to any fighter's success. It's great that they did so much. I mean, driving that far out just to come out to watch that fight.
I know,
so,
coming out decked out too.
I barely drive to Disney, so they must like you a little bit for sure.
That's right. David didn't want to come here tonight. This was too far. No. Yeah,
I don't blame you.
On,
this is easy right here.
Hey,
comfort of my home. We're just chilling.
For sure.
That's right. And something else that you said earlier on too, you know, because I don't want to cut you off, is that you know, a lot of people don't realize what the fighters have to go through to, you know, to be in that position, to get in a cage like that with the lights on you, like you said, you know, spotlights on, you got to perform, you got to do it all. And right now, as amateurs, trying to do it all for free, you know, trying to get in there and try to make a name for yourself, to put yourself in that position, to train, to get ready for the promotion, you know, the professional level, and start making some more money. But, you know, this is all really for the love of the sport right now. And, you know, it's gaining that knowledge. So to get out there and do what you guys do is definitely admirable.
We got to earn our spot, man. We got to take it and climb to the top and prove that we're worth that money.
Your friends and family treat you different now that you got a win under your belt, you know, now you're a real fighter?
Friends, definitely. Everybody actually has been showing a lot of.
No, Jack, don't beat me up, please. You know,
shit, they've always known me as that little Hellraiser. Ever since I was like 5 years old, I was fighting down the street. So they always know that that's who I am.
Well, good stuff. Well, Jack, you know, so same thing for you. Like I asked John, you know, any shout outs that you want to give to everybody? I know you thanked some of your family already. Anything else? Anybody helped you along the way in training to get to where you are today?
And there's a lot of people making donations on my page and everything, helping me out. Everything from $5 to $500. Everything has helped me so much, from just gas some days, you know, just getting from point A to point B, but they're helping me cover like flights and tickets and everything like that I need to get out there. Any Ubers, Lyfts that I'm going to need back and forth from venues and everything. So, and last time I was there, I got dropped off. My parents had to drop me off at like 9 a.m. I found a little spa down there and cut like 5 pounds last second, the morning of weigh in. Was just sitting in a nice little sauna listening to some spa music. So all that goes towards that, you know, making sure that I get there and that this fight happens for them.
Right.
So I appreciate all.
It's early in the game, but again, you know, people are going to watch back, you know, our fight card from last Saturday night, and they're going to see your fight. They're going to see your performance. They're going to be impressed. So tell everybody out there, because I got to tell you, Jack, you got to start getting some fans now. How can everybody follow you on social media?
Instagram, it's Jack Willoughby, just my full name together. I got that first one in. I believe TikTok, you can go to Jack Willoughby MMA, and then Facebook is just Jack Willoughby too. All of my pictures are, you know, probably me in a cage or something. So you can find, I'm not hard to find. So look my name up and give me a follow, give me a like, and any donations I appreciate, man.
Yeah. And I'm understanding here, hearing off camera, that on our RIZE FC app, on the RIZE X link, we will be showing that entire fight card edited out now to show all the fights, including your own, of course. So you can tell your friends and family to tune in and check that out.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. So
share it. Everybody share every fight, not just mine. Share all these fights, man. Get them out there to everybody.
Of course. All right, Jack. Well, it was a pleasure having you on the show. You know, we wish you the best of luck and in training, and I know we'll see you again really, really soon.
Oh yeah.
So if we don't talk to you before then, I'll see you at the next weigh-in.
Oh yeah, y'all plan an after party next time, man. Let's go out.
There you go.
Y'all have a good one. Thank you so much as always.
You too, Jack.
Bye.
All right, absolutely. Take care. Bye. All right, so what we're going to do, and David and I are going to recap it a little bit, but just before we do that, we're going to jump to a commercial break here for our sponsor, DV8. And on the flip side of that, we'll go back and close everything out. We'll see you back in a minute.
This is Kerry from DV8 Motorsports. I want to welcome you to our world and give you a little insight into what we do. From the lift kits, lowering kits, custom wheels and tires, gas, diesel performance and accessories. We do it all here in-house. All of our services we offer, we install everything. Come follow us on social media, Facebook or Instagram, DV8_motorsports. Take a look at what we do, what we have to offer. We're located at 1018 North Federal Highway in Lake Park, US 1, just south of North Lake Boulevard, or you can give us a call, 840-2023, or shoot us an email, deviatemotorsports@yahoo.com. Thanks.
All right, and we are back. Hopefully you got a chance to look at our sponsor there, DV8. And again, earlier on, you saw the app preview. Again, you want to download that app, RIZE FC, jump on RIZE X. Tomorrow, you'll be able to see the edited version of the entire fight card from last Saturday night. If you like what you see and you didn't get to come out there and see it in person, come out this time. Tickets will be on sale for our next event here within the next few days. We'll make sure that we inform you. We're probably going to be in and around October 1st or so, but don't hold me to that date just yet. October 23rd is our slated date for the next event at Xtreme Action Park in Fort Lauderdale. Again, you can only buy the tickets on the app, so that's the reason you should download that. If you cannot come out, you can watch it on the app. If not, you can watch it through other means and other sources. You can watch it through Roku or the Fire Stick. Several different means, several different ways that you can watch our event. So we do hope that you come out, because it's always been a great event each and every time we've done it. You know, people are pretty excited about what they've been able to see. And you'll see some of these guys, just like you saw two of these winners that we had on our show today, Jack and Jonna. You'll see fighters themselves and others like them coming back out and just putting their heart on their sleeve, just going out there and giving it their all. So, David, we got to hear from Jonna and from Jack. And, you know, what did they say that kind of took you back a little bit, maybe that kind of impressed you based on their conversation?
Honestly, I talk to them quite often. So, you know, like I said, I'm impressed by both of them putting the will and effort to do what they did. You know, I just know Jack's story pretty personally, because I've been trying to match it, bring him into the fight, or one of our fights, for, you know, months. And, you know, I knew all his struggles as far as like dealing with another gym and, you know, people doubting him and, you know, all this other stuff. And, you know, it's like a real life, like kind of like a movie, you know, just see people trying to overcome different circumstances. And that's what I think MMA is all about. You know, I like MMA over most team sports, if not all team sports, because it's it's one person's ride, you know, to the top. You know, there's no one else. Everyone could be, you know, supporting you, but it's your own ride. You know, if you mess up, if you decide not to cut weight, you know, like Jack is like, you know, I think he's at least 6 foot, you know. I mean, it's not easy to diet the way he diets, eating cabbage soup and maybe some unhealthy stuff, you know, to the point where you're just starving yourself. Like I have problems skipping ice cream, you know what I mean? So it just shows the will and determination he has to become what, you know, he wants to be, and that's the best, you know. And same thing with Jonna. You know, all that jujitsu practice, dealing with James, or coach that's a military vet, and all the agony it takes in the sparring rooms. And like I said, I've seen her sparring grown men, jiu-jitsu, you know, a higher class belt in jiu-jitsu. I mean, it just doesn't happen overnight, you know. It just takes a lot of work, and it's just so amazing that we can squeeze all that into, you know, 3-minute rounds for 3 rounds in MMA. You know, that's how explosive it is, you know, compared to watching, like, let's say, football for 2 hours, to, you know, with commercial breaks and everything else to determine who's the winner and who participated. It's just these guys all putting it on the line, traveling from Maryland, traveling from Colorado, you know, originally from Kentucky, and, you know, doing all that to be the best. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I appreciated what they had to say, and especially Jack making a point to say to people, hey, look, you know, you don't know what we get ourselves into, you know, coming out here, as hard as we have to train. And his whole comment about the fact that he had to get dropped off the morning of weigh-in and go to a spa and try to, you know, sweat out 5 pounds because he wasn't going to make his weight at that point. I mean, you know, he's given everything of himself to try to get to the point where he's ready to fight, because he so much loves this and wants to do it. And again, doing all this, traveling all that way, his family traveling all that way, all that training, all that sacrifice, just to come in and fight as an amateur with no money on the line, you know, trying to prove himself to get to the point where he needs to be. And people don't see that. And when the bright lights are on you like that and you have to perform, you know, it's not easy. It's not the same thing as practicing in the gym either. It's a whole different world. So, you know,
And
we
also,
definitely respect and admire these
about
guys.
sponsorships too, you know, like, to be social media active is almost like a full job in itself. Like, I'm over here giving advice, and I've realized, you know, I probably should work on myself with my social media platforms and, you know, put myself out there more. Like, this guy went from 1,000 followers to 10,000 in, like, you know, 3 weeks. I mean, you know, I'm over here, like I said, I'm shooting advice, and I'm trying to be like, oh my gosh, I got to take my own advice and put it into play, because these guys are making it happen. Same thing with Jonah, reaching out to someone on the Twitter, what did she say, Fighting MMA or something like that on Twitter, you know, just getting reshares and a lot of love shown to help these fighters that, like you said, are fighting for free. And so it's just an awesome community that the MMA community is. And, you know, you also, it takes me back, you know, like these guys are willing to help people they don't even know to achieve their dreams.
Absolutely. No, I agree 100%. So we appreciate them and all the work that they put into it and everything that they're capable of doing. So again, we'll see a lot of these fighters back again in the next couple of cards. You'll see some new faces as well, just like we saw new faces in John and Jack. And we'll see, you know, what these new guys can do. But you never know where the next superstar is going to come from. You know, and there's a very good chance you're going to see some superstars coming right out of RIZE, because we've got some great bangers of fighters, people that really sacrifice themselves to put on the line for the sport. So we hope to see them again soon. And so, David, that's a wrap as far as, you know, our RIZE card and our guests. You know, I know that we've had kind of a long show, but we're going to briefly go through, you know, our other sports summaries here before the day is done, because, you know, there's a lot that we should unpack in that regard. But I want to jump into UFC real quick. I don't know if you know what's been going on lately.
I watched the last card. It was pretty epic. Both Volkanovski won 5-round decision of a battle. I thought he was going to get choked out for a good little while, but that dude's pretty serious, and I like that he has the you know, he's trying to go up in weight, and I like when champions go up in weight and see if they can dominate another weight class. You know, because that's the best thing to do, in my opinion, than staying in one weight division, is just to test yourself and see what else you can do. So that was a great fight. Shevchenko, who that's how you say her last name? The Bullet, she dominated as always. I didn't think it was a fair matchup, in my opinion, but no one's really fair versus her. She's so dominant every time she fights. The only person that really is as good as her, or obviously a little better, that she fought her twice, I believe, is Amanda Nunes, who's the double champ. You know, super badass. So, you know, I would love to see that matchup again because I'm greedy. But you know, I mean, if I was a champion, I wouldn't probably jump up somewhere if I've already tried it twice. But yeah, it was a great card. I really enjoyed all of it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I know the next fight card coming out. I saw this, and I want to say he was either the headliner or he's the co-main event. But somebody got pulled from the card here, kind of at the last minute. I don't know if you got any intel on any of that. What had happened? Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't like that guy, honestly. Sterling, he's I saw memes of him, the best actor of the best actor of the year. He fought Peter Yan for he got disqualified as a champion. Peter Yan did when he was winning the fight with an illegal knee, which you can't really, obviously you can't do illegal knees, but you know, there's also fighters that you know, it's playing it super safe when you can, you know, you choose to end the match because you're not able to compete. It's almost like a free give me, you know, and I kind of felt that that's what happened. And so I was really excited to see, which, you know, I think it's Alster. Sterling, he's really good. He beat Sandhagen in like 30 seconds, like a minute or something like that. And Sandhagen's really badass. But Peter Yan is one of the best kickboxing and, you know, one of the best MMA fighters out there. So I was really excited to see him perform, but I really, really like that Peter Yan made a statement saying, hey, since this guy is scared and ran away and not going to give me an opportunity to give me my belt, someone else fight me. You know, I don't care if it's the top 5, top 10, top whatever, you know, fight me. And, you know, that's also really cool because a lot of fighters will not go the actual going into the top, you know, 10 or past it. You know, he's obviously should be the champion. He's number 1. But he's willing to fight at number 10 just because why not, you know? And, you know, that's really cool, taking that risk and being able to, you know, sometimes pay for it in the end to give him could be an interim title shot or something like that. So, you know, think of the positive side. I like how his opponents that didn't back out is willing to take on someone of a top contender.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll tell you, in the world of boxing, I mean, but I think the world over has probably heard this by now. You know, the unified 3-belt champion, Anthony Joshua, lost this past Saturday night. He lost to Alexander Usyk, which is the undefeated, previously unbeaten and unified, unanimous cruiserweight champ. You know, a lot of people thought, I watched it. I did see it. I actually didn't see all the rounds, to be honest with you, because I was driving and I was trying to focus on with my phone. But
It went the
by the
distance.
time I knew it was already over, it went the distance. It did go the distance. And Usyk, the thing is, I've seen Usyk fight before. I know what his capabilities are. He's got a lot of speed, and he has a lot of power behind himself. He was definitely a much smaller guy than Joshua was in the ring, but he didn't show it, with his abilities. But that speed that he has, the angles that he comes in, I mean, these guys were fun. You have to go back and watch the replay of this fight, David. I know you're not a huge boxing fan, but you got to watch these two guys together because, if you've ever seen really boring heavyweight fights, this is completely opposite of what that was. These are two guys in there. The action did not stop throughout the entire fight.
It was 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds.
12 3-minute rounds, exactly.
Man, I can barely watch a UFC championship fight, especially at certain times of day,
All right, watch the highlights,
cow.
David. All right, watch the highlights.
12 rounds, 3 minutes.
But watch the highlights, I would say, because this
You
was
didn't
like
watch
shades
the fight
of.
yourself, Mike.
I was watching it, but I was driving. Unfortunately,
all right, yeah.
Next thing I knew, it was over. But I
What's
saw
your next one? You got a flat tire?
Exactly, that happened today. Of course, it always happens, man. That always happens. That's the third flat tire I've had in the last 6 weeks.
You drive 100,000 miles every day, so
that's what it is, man. That's the problem. And I got construction literally north, south, east, and west of my house right now. I'm right in the middle of a bunch of construction zones. But it is what it is. Anyway, as far as Usyk is concerned, it kind of showed me shades of Evander Holyfield. So you think back to the day when Evander Holyfield was the uncontested and unified.
Isn't that the guy who lost to that UFC fighter, Vitor Belfort?
Correct. I was going to say the way Holyfield was, not Holyfield at 90 years old, but I'm talking about Holyfield in his prime. When he was a cruiserweight and he came up and he fought those bigger heavyweights and he beat them and became heavyweight champ.
57 is a new 25.
That's right. That's what it is. But Usyk is here. He's definitely a great contender against a lot of the big champions. Curious to see what he's capable of doing here in the heavyweight division. I like to see these smaller guys come out there and try to take on Goliath, And
I'd like to see maybe Andy Ruiz. I've been a fan ever since he beat Anthony Joshua. I've seen his weight transformation, so it'd be kind of cool to see that.
It would be great to see him come on and fight somebody like Usyk. But, right now, the focus now is going to be on, Fury and Wilder 3. That fight is fast approaching here on October 9th. It's only a couple weeks away. And that is for the other share of the heavyweight championship belt. So, I made the comment, I know, with you on the show here probably a few weeks ago, right? When they decided they weren't going to be fighting each other, I'm talking about Joshua and Fury, because Wilder stepped in and he said he contested for his belt. And all of a sudden, they each had to fight somebody else. And I said, there's no guarantee that Joshua and Fury are going to be facing each other at some point by the end of the year. That $150 million site fee is now out the window. The richest contract we've ever seen in boxing is gone. Nobody's going to want to see that now that, Joshua's got a couple of losses. But, I also made a comment that, hey, look, we don't know who's going to be holding up that championship belt by the end of the year. Usyk obviously took one, or three. He took one win. We don't know if Wilder's going to take out Fury. There's no guarantee Fury's going to win that fight. Neither one of the guys who are supposed to fight for this richest sports contract, $150 million, may even be fighting by the end of the year.
Do you think that's a fair amount to be paying these fighters compared to like a UFC, that makes $300,000 to $400,000 in a main card as the main event?
I would say it's arguable because these guys we're talking about, these boxers have proven themselves by beating consistently 30 plus fighters straight in a row without having taken a loss, beating the best of champions, the best of guys, where you got a lot of UFC fighters with upside down records that are demanding millions of dollars in their contract that absolutely don't deserve it. Because if you've lost to 50 people, what makes you the best? You're not. So, you have to have beaten the men in front of you, everybody in front of you to prove that I am the man. So you've got a couple of guys that can hold that claim in UFC, but not very many, right? Right. That can say I've beaten everyone. And a lot of these guys aren't fighting anymore because they've proven everything and said I'm done now. But, shake $10, $20 million at them, they may come back. You just got to find the right venue. But, when it comes to Dana,
if Khabib tells his mom he's not coming back, right?
Well, look, Dana White, he's got a lot of money, right? So he's got the money. He's holding the money for UFC. If you want to pay these guys
right, has $500 million. I read that he gets $20 million a year off UFC. Crazy.
Okay, well, if he wants to pay these guys right, he'll pay them right. You know, the fact that he's shortchanging them, it's on him and UFC for not paying these guys what you think they might be worth. But I think UFC, it's long overdue that they do need to find the best of the best champions. They can't keep recycling the same guys that have lost to each other over and over again, because it starts to get kind of stale and boring after a while. So they do need to come back and, you know, find some fresh new talent, you know, bring in from the rankings of other promotions and bring them up to UFC and bring the right guys in that you think are unstoppable. You know?
Yeah, they've been doing that with the Contender. It's actually on tonight at 9 o'clock on ESPN Plus. But if you watch that, there's been quite a few contracts. I think like 150 contracts in the past 3 years for the UFC. And also you see a lot of UFC vets retiring. You know, like you said, the past two guys that are, you know, Overeem retired. Anderson Silva's gone. A lot of you know, household names are going away. So, you know, hopefully things will change and these guys will get more money. But I just think it's frustrating that, you know, these guys, a lot of them aren't being paid top dollar. And like you said, it's not just the UFC's fault, you know, but I just feel like overall MMA is not paid equivalently to boxing because it hasn't been around as long. But I think it's slowly starting to change, and I'm hoping in the next like 10 to 20 years, you know, hopefully these guys will get more money because, you know, in my opinion, it takes more skill to be an MMA fighter than a boxer.
Yeah, and it comes down to those pay-per-view buys. It comes down to those ticket sales. You know, how much they charging for ringside seats. You know, how much they charging, you know, on pay-per-view. Get some of these boxing pay-per-view events going for $100. You know, so if there's money in those numbers like that, and there's money in the sponsors that are behind them, the money will follow behind it with UFC as well. Now you got things like bare knuckle boxing out there, and a lot of the former UFC fighters are going into, you know, joining the ranks of those things because they feel like, you know, if I can't do much more with UFC, there's no money there. I can get paid huge money to jump into bare knuckle because I'm the biggest name they got right now.
Right.
So I'm going to come in there and see what I can do. And, you know, it's a shorter fight, a little more dangerous because you are bare knuckles, but, you know, shorter fights all the same. And these guys can make a lot more money per round or per minute that they're fighting doing that bare knuckles, as long as they're not too concerned with some of the superficial injuries maybe that they, you know, sustain from sport.
In my opinion, I think bare knuckle boxing is safer than boxing in general because of the padded gloves that you can be constantly concussed and not fully realize that you can only break your hands with bare knuckle boxing. Well, like I said, same thing with the cushion. So in my opinion, I think bare knuckle boxing is safer than regular boxing.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying the same thing. You see the superficial injuries. You see them. You know,
Right.
You know what you're dealing with. You know, but you know, like you said, those gloves. These guys are getting concussed. You don't know what's going on inside there. It's like football. You know, you got helmets on, but it doesn't mean anything. You know, you take the right kind of hit, and it's just years and years of injuries. And you see some of these guys, you know, many years later, just having a difficult time walking, talking, doing really anything. And it's a shame, you know, that these kind of things happen. They need more sanctions. They need more rules. They need more, you know, doctors stepping up and kind of helping them out. But anyway, neither here nor there. So, yeah, as far as UFC, again, you know, I want to make sure I made that point clear, though. You know, a lot of these guys that obviously have taken some losses do deserve big dollars to come back in and fight again. Because, look, we've seen journeymen that have come back and just impressed. You know, maybe there was something that just changed in them and their training and their regimen that they did differently now that makes them a superstar that maybe that wasn't the case early on and took a few losses. You know, now it's their time. And, you know, you'll see a different fighter in that ring or in that cage. So, you know, we're going to move on. I know we got to wrap the show, but, you know, we got to go through real quick the NFL. You know, your Dolphins there, David, it was a nail biter right up to the very, very end. And that was without Tua. Came close. They came close. OT, they both scored and unfortunately lost with that second field goal in OT. But, you know, what do you have to say about that game in general and Dolphins in general?
Was it 4th and 2 when they kicked that field goal?
I will fight you, David.
Honestly, even from the G-Man, he thinks there's something wrong with their coaching. And I don't know. I think someone has a crush on Tua for this long to have him as a dead weight in our. It's probably almost time for new blood for coaching for sure because how do you say the quarterback's name? Brissett or Brissett?
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett.
Brissett, yeah.
Jacoby Brissett.
He's pretty good. You know what I mean? He's a lot better than Tua pretty much all around. Obviously, he's shown a little rust because he didn't practice preseason and he has some newer weapons. But, you know, we might win, you know, half and half, you know, like a 8-8 season or something like that, 7-9. I don't know. We're not great, and it's just disappointing. Every year we're not great as far as with some bad coaching, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I'll say that, my notes real quick on NFL, just kind of breeze through, is, the Finns losing that nail biter just shows some promise, I think, with the capabilities of what they'll be able to do moving forward. And the Cowboys,
I'd say promise with
picking
the
up steam.
Yeah. Defense looked pretty good, Cowboys, but I think they'll come around to be an average team. But yeah, there was also good games going on. I think Dalvin Cook didn't play; he was injured. There's a Chiefs lost again. I think they're 1-2. Andy Reid had like a heart attack during the game.
I heard, he was treated for dehydration in the end. So we don't know what the story was with the heart palpitations, but at the end they say he was dehydrated. So whether that's true or not, or there's more to it, maybe he doesn't want people to know exactly what's going on with him. But we hope that he's going to do a lot.
How about the Jets? Just end the season. They make me feel better about the Dolphins looking at those guys.
That's right. I was going to say, look, the Cowboys are picking up steam. They had a pretty good performance there, this weekend, and we'll see what their capabilities are moving forward. Very emotional for Dak Prescott being back in the field where he last played, and he was injured with that horrendous injury. First time back, he was actually crying during the national anthem. I don't know if you caught that.
No.
Look, Buffalo put up 75 points in the last 2 games.
Yeah, Gerardo's team, Buffalo, Josh Rosen. Yeah, the guy was on fire. Emmanuel Sanders was killing it.
Josh Rosen? No, you're talking about.
No, what's the quarterback's name? Allen, right?
Josh Allen. Yeah.
Josh Allen. My bad. Yeah, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's not on my fantasy football team, so I don't care about him. In fact, my roommate has him, so I heard enough of him. And obviously, I'm not close to a Bills fan, but I respect them for sure. I would say Bills is the most dominant team in our division.
Yeah, and offensively, one of the best probably in NFL right now, at least, like I said, as the offense goes. Look, Arizona, I mentioned them last week, and I said, look, don't sleep on Arizona. Talking about early on, they're 3-0. These guys are just breezing through. I know they've had, some easier opponents here the last few weeks, but, interesting to see what they're capable of doing. They got a pretty good offense themselves. And Kyler Murray, that great Heisman winner from years ago.
No, they really impressed me. I actually picked up Randall Moore, who's the rookie quarterback or rookie wide receiver for them, because after I think it was 8 or 9 targets, I thought he would go off this week, and sure enough, AJ Green got all the targets and Hopkins didn't get any action. So it just shows he has so many weapons that he's able to use, and his feet. I think they're gonna go far for sure.
Yeah, I heard that the Chiefs, going back to the Chiefs for a minute, they're actually picking up a couple of they're signing a couple of new receivers.
Oh man, my boy Josh Gordon. They're letting
Josh
him
Gordon
loose.
is one of them. Yep, he's coming to the Chiefs. That's what they say.
Wow, yeah.
So, and of course, I have to cap this off the NFL with saying this because this is just phenomenal, in my opinion. Justin Tucker, the Baltimore kicker, with a 66-yard field goal for the win as time expired in that game, off the uprights and in, or the crossbar technically, and in. 66 yards, man. They were sitting at the opponent's 48-yard line. That's where they were lined up, right? Add the 18 yards, you got a 66-yard. That's nuts, man. That's crazy to me. It's like,
sure.
Who cares about flipping the field? From midfield, you can kick winning kicks. That's the end of the game. That changes the dynamic quite a bit, don't you think?
No, man, for sure. No, I've seen his interviews with him playing the piano and stuff. You can tell he's highly intelligent, one of the best kickers, probably if not the best kicker in the league right now.
Yeah. And he did a thing where he did like a stutter step. They were talking about it before he actually kicked it, tried to give himself a little bit more momentum, kind of going underneath. It was interesting the way he did that. I think you're going to see a lot of kickers sort of emulate that and start to do what he's doing because they figure, hey, he's one of the best. If I can maybe just do what he's doing and follow that path, maybe I can kick a little farther too. So you may start seeing this resurgence of kickers being able to do, things that are more capable than they could before. You get a lot of teams saying, maybe we should go for it. Maybe we shouldn't. We don't know where we are. We're midfield, 4th down. Hey, you know what? Let's give the kicker a go at it. We never know, man. From way over there, you never know. So it's interesting. Jumping to college football real quick. Look, my Gators are 3-1 right now, I should say, with that close loss, of course, to Alabama a couple weeks ago. They put a hurting on Tennessee in that second half of the game. It was very close. Up to that half, they were winning 17-14 with Tennessee missing the kick right before they went to half. But the Gators shut them out 21-0 the second half of the game. Complete dominance by the Gators in the second half, just like it was when they played Alabama. If they could just get that defense going and they can make their adjustments a little sooner in the game, they can beat the big boys, because they got Georgia coming up. And Georgia's defense is the best in the country, and that's going to be a tough nut to crack.
What is Georgia ranked?
Number 2. Bama's 1, Georgia's 2. And I would say also Anthony Robinson, who is the other quarterback for the Gators, who's been hurt the last 2 games, didn't get to play because of pulled hamstring from a few weeks ago. He's 100% healthy. He's back in training, back in practice now. He will be playing this Saturday. So there's another dynamic when they play 4-0 Kentucky in Kentucky, in Lexington this Saturday.
So each team is able to pay the players now because of the movement? Is that how it works?
The teams don't pay them, but each player can now sign sponsorships and things like that. They're now allowed to do that. And Reggie Bush, who won a Heisman Trophy many, many years ago, he had his Heisman Trophy taken away because they found out about all the things that he did and taking money, and his mother got a house and all this other stuff that went on. He asked for his Heisman Trophy back. He said, well, now that the players are allowed to get paid for it, he goes, can I get my Heisman Trophy back? And they said, no, not getting that back. Too late, pal.
He should get it
if
back.
he had gotten a Heisman Trophy a decade later, yeah, too bad for him. But anyway, so that's what's cooking with football, and I think that's a wrap on our entire show. I know we kind of ran a little long here because we had a couple of guests. But again, we want to thank our sponsors, Deviate and Pharmacana. Again, for all your needs, you can go right here, pharmacana.us, pharmacana.com. Here, I'm going to pick up the product because I don't think it's on camera here. There's some things to take a look at here with Pharmacana, pharmaceuticals. Take a look at those things and see if there's anything you could possibly use out of it. And Deviate, again, for all your vehicles needs, you can contact Deviate. And that's about it. But look, again, October 23rd is our next slated date at Xtreme Action Park. We're looking forward to seeing, let's call it a dozen fights, David. Let's just kind of meet in the middle. And let's hope that comes to fruition up at that point. But tickets will go on sale soon enough, guys. Again, start looking for it on the app somewhere around October 1st. Maybe give it a few extra days. If there's some adjustments and changes, we will let you know. But check out the app. Check out our social media. Like, subscribe, comment. And just, stay in the know. Obviously, we're doing this show every week. I think Dave will be back in studio with us again next week. And, we'll be back to the way we've been doing it. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one and at the next event. And David, anything else to say before we wrap up?
Looking forward to October 23rd.
Absolutely. So on behalf of Armando Gonzalez, Gerardo Ramos, David Shore, our guests tonight, which are John Wood and Jack Willoughby, thank you everybody for tuning in. Stay safe, and we'll see you again soon. Have a good night.